Hey guys, Scare9 here, and welcome back to my channel today, and in this video we are going to be going over all of the brand new information regarding the Curse of Osiris DLC. All of this information is coming from the live stream that Bungie held today. Whenever that gets archived, I will have a link to it down in the description below, but there's a lot of stuff to cover, so let's just go ahead and get into it. So the first brand new thing that we learned today from Bungie's live stream is that there is going to be, in fact, a brand new raid within the Curse of Osiris. However, it is a little bit different than you guys might expect. So internally, they are referring to this as a raid layer. Now, this is a little bit odd in the Destiny universe in terms of what we are used to. So what it does, it takes an existing raid location, in this case the Leviathan, and adds a completely new set of encounters, rewards, environments, enemies, bosses, a new final boss, a whole new set of puzzles and weapons and armor, and it puts all of these things within the existing raid location. So we are going to have a second raid within the Leviathan, and they are going to be two completely separate things. So before you guys lose your minds and start yelling at Bungie because they are reusing content, just know that that is pretty much not the case. They are essentially just taking the existing aesthetic and location of the gigantic Leviathan ship and leading us down a different path. So instead of going up to the top of the ship with Emperor Callus's palace and going through all of the different encounters that we know, we are now going within the belly of the Leviathan, doing a whole new set of encounters. Like I said, there's more rewards. There's not going to be any overlap other than the very beginning of the raid, which is you flying in and landing on the front of the Leviathan, and the general aesthetic of the Leviathan raid. Other than that, nothing else will be reused within this raid, which is something that is an interesting idea to think about, but whenever you start to break down the choice, it is actually a very good move. If you think about the time between Vanilla Destiny 1 and Crota's End, that was about the same amount of time as between Destiny 2 Vanilla and right now with the Curse of Osiris, and to the great majority of the community, Crota's End is regarded as the worst raid. It is very short, the encounters aren't very thought out to most people, and yeah, so to avoid having that problem happen again, they decided to implement these things called raid layers. Now, they are going to be doing this for the first DLC and the second DLC, so with the Warmind DLC in April, we will actually be getting a second raid layer to the Leviathan raid. And this just makes it easier on the Bungie team to consistently put out good raid content. So do not worry, guys. For all intents and purposes, if you remove the aesthetics of this raid, it is 100% a completely brand new raid, and I'm extremely excited for it. Now, both the original raid of the Leviathan and the Belly of the Beast layer will be brought up to light level 300, which is really interesting. And they also commented that this one is actually shorter than the original. And the reason that they did this is so you have more varying raids, which is something I've been talking about on The Last Word for quite a long time. You need more variety in time and scope of the raids. You need some to be short, some to be long, some to be easy, and some to be hard. It is just necessary so people don't get burnt out on raids, so that's exactly what they are doing with this brand new Belly of the Beast raid layer. But that is all of the information we got regarding the Belly of the Beast layer. Essentially, you will fly in, land on the front of the Leviathan like we are used to now, but instead of going up top to the Leviathan, you now enter the door that is directly in front of you whenever you land. So that's pretty interesting. And in terms of my opinions on this, I am not worried at all. I think this raid is going to be absolutely amazing. I don't mind the aesthetic. I really like the Cabal. The general notion I got when they were talking about this is that Emperor Callus won't play any part in this raid. It'll be a completely brand new endgame boss, so I'll be really interested to see how that turns out in the final version of the raid layer. So really the thing that excites me the most about all of this is that we will now be able to get more reliable, consistent raid content. Now let's go ahead and talk about some other aspects of the Curse of Osiris DLC, and the great majority of what we discovered was about Mercury, the Lighthouse, and the Infinite Forest. So the first thing, the new patrol zone is called the Infinite Forest, and this is described as what the Vex used to try to discover the equation of the future. Essentially, the Vex hollowed out the center of Mercury and filled it with a chamber that simulates all of the infinite possibilities for the future of the universe to determine how they could come out victorious in all of the different timelines. For instance, whenever we see Osiris go into what looks like the Vault of Glass, that is not the real Vault of Glass, it is just a simulation on how the Vex plan to defeat us within the Vault of Glass. Now, this idea will actually play an extremely important role while we are running through this patrol zone. They said that as we're running through it, there is an amazing number of combinations of encounters and different stages and stuff like that that will spawn for us, making it so even the main story campaign missions for the Curse of Osiris will be played differently every time, which is really interesting. Now, the main feature of the Infinite Forest are the 3 giant trees. They are actually more like stone towers, but to the Vex, they are considered trees. Now, if you go to these trees, you are actually able to go to a different time period. So if you go to the one on the left, the one that is very pristine and looks new, you go to the past. If you go to the one in front of you whenever you spawn, that tree will spawn you in an alternate present. And then if you go to the dark destroyed one on the right, that will take you to the dark future. Now, we also learned that the Lighthouse social space is actually not its own unique social space. It's an area that you can go to within the patrol. So you can walk up to it. It is the same lighthouse that we used to go to. And it seems like the only part of it that remains is the old chest room, which has been converted into like an observatory or study room for Brother Vance and his disciples. However, despite this not being its own real social space, there's actually quite a few amazing things in here. So Brother Vance is a vendor. He's very similar to Failsafe or Devrim K. You go up to him, you turn in your tokens, you can rank up with him, all of that stuff. Then there are also lots of mysteries in here that make it feel like more of a social space, but because it is within the patrol zone, you can have your guns out the entire time, which is really cool. Now, something that I'm really interested in that they kept pointing out was the activity tracker over on the wall. Now, they said that this activity tracker activates after you complete the main campaign for the Curse of Osiris, and essentially each one of these different nodes represents an optional activity that you can choose to do, and whenever you do them, through doing different tasks, you will gather different pieces of Vex technology and old weapons that you can now forge together to make these amazing weapons that we have seen. These are the weapons like the auto rifle and the hand cannon that we have seen so far that obviously have Vex technology implemented within them, so it's really awesome. Now, that is really just the great majority of the information we have regarding this DLC, but there are a couple of miscellaneous points as well. So first off, the Cabal will also be present on Mercury. Now, Mercury is the closest planet to the Cabal super weapon, the Almighty. If you guys remember within the Destiny 2 campaign, it actually was trying to destroy our sun. Well, any Cabal that actually survived our attack on the Almighty managed to find safe haven on Mercury, so we will be fighting them as well as the Vex during our time in the Infinite Forest. Now, the new Mercury Patrol Zone also has the largest public event to date, and they said that they are really excited to share it with us next week as it is completely integrated to the Mercury Patrol Zone. Supposedly, it's going to be very rewarding and a lot of fun as well, so I cannot wait to see what that is. And then one other thing that they mentioned is that the lost sectors on Mercury will not be marked on your map until you complete the campaign. So if you are a player like myself who likes to explore and wants to find all of these lost sectors for yourself, you will have an opportunity to do that before you complete the campaign, which is really awesome. Now, we also got to see an updated image of the director, and on it, there's a couple of really interesting things that can be seen. So first off, you can see that you can fly to Mercury by clicking its icon right above the Traveler, which is really cool. But one really interesting thing is that if you check at the left-hand side of the screen where your milestones are, there is actually a brand new icon for Eververse up there. So my thoughts are that we will probably have some brand new type of weekly milestone that allows us to get some type of Eververse item for free every single week, which would be really cool. And then we also got confirmation that heroic strikes are coming back into the strike rotation. So we will have a brand new playlist. Hopefully, I'm crossing my fingers that they will add strike specific loot and more reason to do these as well. But that is really all of the major information we got regarding the Curse of Osiris DLC today. Let me know what you guys think about all of it down in the comment section below. Once again, I just want to say, please do not freak out because this new raid isn't Vex themed or on a completely new location. It is still on the Leviathan, yes, but they said very specifically that it is going to be completely separated from the Leviathan. Like I said, there will be new encounters, new rewards, new bosses, new environments, new locations. And personally, I'm just really excited to see what they do with it. And they did say there will be a prestige mode, and more than likely they will add challenges for those as well. I would also like to remind everyone that we very well might not just be limited to Cabal within the brand new raid layer. The Leviathan literally eats entire planets, so any species living on those planets might very well have survived on the way in. And in addition to that, we know that Callus loves to recruit members of different species. The Scions and the Cabal dogs are huge representations of this. So if he has managed to do this with a sect of the Fallen, let's say, it's very possible that we might be able to fight some of them within the brand new raid as well. We'll just have to wait and see. Like I said, let me know what you guys think about all of this down in the comment section below. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like rating and to share it with your friends. If you are interested in watching either of the two videos on screen, you can click their respective annotations to be taken to them. If you are brand new to my channel, make sure to hit the giant version of my logo on the screen to be subscribed to more awesome Destiny 2 videos and live streams. Thank you guys so much for watching today, and I will see you in my next video.